Hi, my name is Greg Nicholas, and this is Oxford in America.
Hello, and welcome to this episode of Oxford in America. In this episode, we enter North Carolina, which is both our second to last state, because we go to Virginia next, and our last state, because we end up in a few more episodes back in North Carolina at Cape Hatteras and the Atlantic Ocean. By now, we've been on the road for 4 weeks and have covered over 4,400 miles. Our first stop in North Carolina was another big stop for us, was to meet up with the folks at the Land Rover Experience at the Biltmore Estate. The Biltmore Estate is America's largest privately owned home. This stunning mansion is set on 8,000 acres and is renowned for its great architecture, beautiful gardens, and rich history. The Biltmore Estate is still owned by the Vanderbilt family, who earned their fortune during the industrial age of America. At the Biltmore Estate, there's the Land Rover Experience.
We happen to be here at Land Rover Experience Biltmore. We are a dedicated off-road driving program. Everything we actually work with here is applicable to not only just Land Rover product, but actually to all types of vehicles and really all types of driving situations. We offer anything from a 1 hour, 2 hour, half day, full day, multiple day programs. We really do cater it to the individual, so it's all just a private experience, just you and whoever you happen to bring with you. So we happen to have the brand new, the new Defender out here. We have the 110 model at this point. And with that vehicle actually being the most aggressive off-road vehicle that Land Rover offers, we're able to actually open up some trails that we haven't had before. Kind of allows us to kind of push the envelope, push the boundaries a little bit with that vehicle. The clearances on that vehicle are actually incredible, with the wheels being pushed out so far to the corners. The approach and departure angles are really aggressive, allows us to do some really some fun and exciting things with the vehicle as well.
And that was supposed to be a big meet and greet for us, and it turned out to be pretty nice.
It was pretty nice because we were at the Land Rover Experience Center there. We were outside, so folks could gather and look at Oxford, and we socially distanced like we were supposed to. But we had a good turnout, and a lot of people really were interested in seeing Oxford.
Yeah, it was amazing. We parked Oxford up with Mickey in front of the Oxford Experience house, and folks just came up and took their picture in front of Oxford. People were sitting in it and pretending like they were driving it, sticking their head out the game viewing hatch, and we just sat there, and it was just nice to sit there and see people enjoy seeing the Oxford trip.
And that's what Oxford was all about, and it really was nice to see.
And the driving instructors took the whole parade of us around for a short trip.
We got to ride on the course there.
And that was exciting to see Oxford
led the way,
mixing it up with some brand new 2020 Defenders. All that time separating those two trucks, but still enjoying the same roads in the woods. what was really nice about staying at the Biltmore Estate was we got to stay at the resort.
Really nice resort, yes.
Yeah.
Well, they were clean when we turned up. I don't think they were clean when we left.
Yeah, we had camped for a couple nights in a row, and it had rained 2 or 3 of those nights, so everything was wet. And it was I remember we took everything into the hotel room. I mean, we made like 2 or 3 trips up into the Biltmore nice hotel, you know, like, mints on the pillow kind of hotel, and we unloaded everything in that hotel room to dry everything out. It was sleeping bags and tents draped out over chairs. Yeah, we had a couple hours of a dry, warm spot to stay, and took advantage of it.
So coming in out of the rain with wet clothes and wet gear.
Yeah, our camping gear still hadn't dried out.
Stopping in at a hotel with white sheets.
Yes, and a shower.
Getting all nice, and we went to eat at the in one of the restaurants at the resort. Had a nice big dinner, maybe a couple beverages, maybe, and that was I wish we could have stayed longer there. It was still a quick night, but it was
It was a great stop on Oxford's trip.
Leaving the Biltmore Estate, we drove north up into the Blue Ridge Mountains and joined with the famous Blue Ridge Parkway. The Blue Ridge Parkway is a twisty road that follows the spine of the Blue Ridge Mountains and travels from North Carolina all the way up to Virginia. And it's a nice trip. It's supposed to be a nice trip with a lot of pull-offs and views and look down in the valleys and to go from there. But for us, it was raining that day.
Yes, the rain stuck with us. Once we got on the Blue Ridge Parkway, it rained.
Coming onto the Blue Ridge Parkway, the rain we were experiencing was probably some of the heaviest we'd seen.
Yes.
And we'd had some challenges with it in the past, so we knew what to do. But Oxford's roof was not exactly waterproof.
Oh yes, that's putting it mildly.
Yeah, the modifications to put the viewing hatch wasn't really watertight. And then Oxford had a lot of tiny pinholes in the roof just from metal corrosion and fatigue over the years. So as we took off that morning, we covered all of our supplies.
All our supplies and stuff in the back with a big covered with a tarp. And then we had to cover ourselves.
We're wearing our rain jackets and we put trash bags over our laps. And the whole time we're driving, rain is coming through. And if you slosh the truck from one side to the other, water run across the roof and pour down through that hatch and your hands were always wet on the gear shift. That's just one of the unique experiences of driving Oxford.
Yes.
We take watertight cars for granted. The rain and fog continued and stayed with us for most of the morning. One of the extras of driving in the rain is that it highlighted that Oxford had a not so small oil leak. At the end of our journey, we finally discovered that the overdrive was missing a set of O-rings that caused the leak and were super easy to replace. It also took us to the end of the journey and a look through all of the photos to see what Mark and Steve meant when they said following Oxford was like chasing rainbows. And as we approached up the Blue Ridge Parkway, the road was closed again.
Yes.
But it was only temporary. We came across a tree that was down across the road.
So we're trying to make good time, and then with the storm, a tree had fallen on the Blue Ridge. So being rover guys, we're like, hey, we got winches, we can help move this tree and get things done, and the work crew would not let us near it, not let us help. We were going to help carry the branches off that they cut just to expedite the process, right?
Yep. We were still laughing about these guys in their rain gear inside Oxford. That was.
Eventually, the work crews were finished the job of clearing the tree. Finally, the weather turned a corner and we were beginning to see a little blue sky, and our views finally started to open up at the overlooks. Well, that wraps things up for this episode of Oxford in America. Join us next time when we cross over into Virginia and join the Rover Owners Association of Virginia and the 2020 Mid-Atlantic Rally. We'll see you next time on Oxford in America.